Hello and welcome to the XRL European Super League highlights. The off-season has been very interesting, with new teams being tested out by the managers of this division, and it should be a great season ahead, a 22-game season with a cup competition involved this season. Our main game tonight comes from Anfield, between Liverpool and Juventus, two equally matched sides we thought at the start of the season. Which way will this game go? As well as that, we have action from all of the games from the European Super League, including how last year's runner-up XRL Stuart got on with the Valencia side against Arsenal at the Emirates, as well as how PSG fared at the Etihad against Man City, last season's two teams who struggled to stay up in the division go head-to-head once more. So we're going to go off to our main game now between Liverpool and Juventus. I Love Jigsaw's winning the title last year with a very healthy points tally and just winning on goal difference against two other players, against his good friend Gio, or Velexity as he's well known. And he had a decent season, but too many draws and a few defeats towards the end of the season made him go down the pack and just surviving relegation on the final day of the season. The lineups look like this: Liverpool with Mignolet in goal, Emre Can, Skrtel and Sakho in defence, with Lallana, Henderson, Gerrard, Ivan, Coutinho and Sterling, with Sturridge maybe operating up as a lone striker in sort of maybe a possible 3-4-3 formation. Juventus have experienced goalkeeper Buffon in goal, with Lichtsteiner at right back, Bonucci and Chiellini at centre back, with Evra on the left. Pogba, Marchisio, Vidal, Asamoah and Pereira play in the centre, with Tevez up front in what looks like a 4-5-1 formation. Your commentary this game is brought to you by Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Welcome to EA Sports live coverage of this matchup. Today it's Liverpool against Juventus. Let's go off to Anfield now. Lovely, clear day in this part of England. Here's your commentary team, Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Hello, I'm Martin Tyler, and this is Anfield.
Well, here they go. It's been a long wait, really, to start the new season after last season's title win, but they've been walking on air in the interim. Now they've got to walk on the pitch. How will they respond?
Oh, there's a real buzz inside the stadium. The fans are expecting maybe a repeat of last season. It might not be all that easy.
Coutinho.
He missed it. Still in play here. Steven Gerrard. Asamoah. Arturo Vidal. He might be through. Coutinho. Whipped out wide. Good ball to stretch the opposition. Here's Gerrard. And here's the shot. Missed it. Vidal. Asamoah. Very good effort to stop that cross. Oh, it's a corner now for Juventus. And the header is into the net. So let's look at the goal for Juventus.
The defenders seem to lose the concentration almost. They saw it coming from a long way out. Well, it was the anticipation as well, wasn't it? Just to get in front of his man.
He's got the ball. Oh, he's got support here. Excellent positioning, and the interception is made. Trying to find Tevez. Well, that's widened the game here, and they've got it to the wide man well. Lichtsteiner! He'll never be afraid to shoot, but he'll be hoping. Steven Gerrard. Well, it will always haunt Steven Gerrard. He's given the free kick. It's in a really threatening position too. chance. And it's in. It's past the goalkeeper. They are level. It's a great moment for the defender. He's on target here.
And he's got a few of those down the years. When he goes up for set pieces especially, he's always a threat.
Good, strong challenge. Coutinho. Sturridge. Attacking well here. It's another good effort. The team really... They've linked up well. Here he is with a chance. Oh, the referee's given the penalty.
No chance.
Different angle on it here. Claudio Marchisio. Tevez. Attacking now Juventus. Skirtle. The possession stats so far for you coming up on the screen.
Well, nothing to split the two sides.
Coutinho! Struck the post here. And in goes the cross. No cross, good block. Well, they're a goal up. Now they've got a corner here. And it's a headed effort at goal. A goal! Liverpool! Goal really takes your breath away.
Well, he's got a track record of that. On his left side, he's so dangerous.
That challenge. Steven Gerrard. Chance. Very good try here.
Right, so that was the main game between Liverpool and Juventus at Anfield, and Jay Pearce is here to go through some of the goals and some of the action in the game. And Jay Pearce, firstly, I suppose we should really talk about how well I Love Jigsaws has sort of coped from switching teams from Roma to Liverpool. Do you think that there's much difference between the two sides? I mean, looking at it, Liverpool have quite pacey players in Sturridge and Jordan Ibe and Raheem Sterling, of course. So do you think there's much of a difference, or is it, or not? I mean, what's your opinion?
Personally, I think I agree. They're quite similar. I mean, also they're not the strongest in defence. They're slightly stronger than Roma were. They have a slightly better goalkeeper, in my opinion, as well, in Mignolet over Sanctis. So it's, I think, a step up, but also a step back with midfield being a bit more slow, controlled, passing based. So it's going to be similar to last season. I can see him being up there as well, but I think not too dissimilar.
Well, a good start for him nonetheless, and he won 3-1 against a team who, I think it's right in saying, we both considered Alexi last season when he managed Everton to be right up there. It actually took him quite a long time to lose a game, but in the end, that the amount of draws that he had actually caught up with him, and he almost got relegated on the final day. He does appear to have a good team this time, but I think everyone's improved their teams, so it could be quite difficult. But anyway, going into the game, what would you like to pick out from the goals and the highlights of that game?
Personally, I think the first goal for Liverpool. The first Liverpool goal was an unnecessary free kick in the first place. It was given away sloppily by by the player, so that left them in a good position for a free kick. And the player on the line, I feel the goalkeeper had it covered. So the fact that the player on the line's actually headed it straight to Skirtle to score, it feels like just a catalogue of errors.
Right. Yeah, I could probably agree with that. I mean, he could have at least headed it or cleared it maybe a bit further, but Skirtle was there. He had actually what some people would call a striker's instincts to be the first one to capitalise on the rebound. So he did good. He got in there and he's got onto the score sheet for the first time this season. But Liverpool, were they the dominant force that the scoreline suggested? What other sort of points in the game have you picked out?
I feel it was quite balanced, but then the second goal for the penalty, to be fair, was once again sloppily conceded by Juventus. It was Sturridge running out of room to go. All the defender, I believe it was Bonucci, just needed to just stay goal side because there was nothing going to come from it. All it would come to is either a save from the goalie or a corner. But no, he decides to pull his shirt, take him down, cause there to be a penalty, and pretty much give a guaranteed opportunity to Liverpool, which Gerrard put away very cleanly in the left-hand side. So it just another defensive error from Juventus, which needs to be worked on by Velexi.
Yeah, I'll probably agree in terms of the fact that it was probably close on what the scoreline suggested. I obviously have watched the game, and you look at some of the chances. I think Liverpool had the better of the chances, but Liverpool weren't the dominant side. I mean, it was a pretty close game. A draw may have even been the right result. But I think, again, I probably agree with you in terms of the whole penalty. It was a penalty. He didn't need to do the challenge. But would it have been a goal if he didn't make the challenge? Probably not. It was getting quite a tight angle. So, very, very difficult to assess, really, and why he made that challenge. But, well, that's just unfortunate for Velexi, and he has to move on. But anyway, let's get on to the rest of the games now. Starting with how our runner-up last season, XRL Stuart, has got on with possibly a worse team than what he had last season. Some people, on the face of it, Valencia seem a worse side to have than Tottenham. But let's see if he can make that work anyway, as he takes on Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Our first game comes between two sides who probably have once had a lot better team and one not so good team on the change between the seasons, on the face of it anyway, and it looked to be going that way early on in the second minute where Theo Walcott found a cross and Alexis Sanchez just headed over the bar. Not someone who you'd put down for his headering exploits, but he had a good effort there in the second minute. But this was the start of, well, only a downhill spiral for the home club, London club Arsenal, and Rodrigo fired Valencia into the lead after 6 minutes. A Spanish player finding acres of space down the centre of the defence and coolly slotted home to make it 1-0. It was like this nearly a lot of the game. Arsenal, they just lost the ball in midfield, and straight after the restart, they again lost the ball in midfield. Marco Piatti finding Rodrigo again, who this time does exactly the same, has a one-on-one with the keeper, puts it into the corner of the goal. It's 2-0 after just 8 minutes in this game, and it's just a lack of composure on the ball from the midfield there from Arsenal. And this is what they've been struggling in competitions in Europe in real life. And you can see why against a team like Valencia. A pacey up fronter and a great pass from Piatti made sure that it was 2-0. It wasn't going to be 2-0 for much longer though. Just 6 minutes later, Valencia were again looking to press and get a third goal. And Otamendi finding Javi Fuego, who then gets Parejo on the ball. It's a bit of a fortunate landing to Piatti, but somehow he fires in at the near post. Ospina must be very, very disappointed that he lets in a goal like that at his near post, and it's 3-0 after just 12 minutes. The home fans must be thinking about leaving, and it could have got worse, and it did. Great goal from Rodrigo to complete his hat-trick after 32 minutes. That was a sublime finish, a great little through ball through the heart of the defence once again. And Stuart, the Valencia manager, must be absolutely loving this team. He finished second in the league, only missing out on the top spot by goal difference last season. Well, he's made his goal difference look very, very good after this start to the season with 4 goals in the first 32 minutes of the game. And Rodrigo looking very, very good for the golden boot at this rate as well, with his hat-trick covered in just 32 minutes of the opening game of the season. And there's nothing the defenders or goalkeeper could have done from that. In the second half, though, Craig Senna managed to make Arsenal not concede any more goals in the first half, but it wasn't going to be that much longer until they found another. Javi Fuego finding a bit of space, finding Feghouli, who then finds Piatti in acres of space. The defenders are in disarray, and he has an open shot again at that near post, and Ospina really has been not on his best game today, and at that point, the home manager left, and it was 5-0 to the away team. Our next game comes between two managers who have had a lot better teams this season in comparison to last season. That is XRL Bobbitts and Riotous Tag. And Bobbitts had a great chance in the early stages with Chelsea. Cuadrado striking way over the bar from close range on a one-on-one effort. Chelsea were looking quite good in the first half and definitely putting more pressure on, but were very susceptible to breakaway attacks, especially with Roma's pace up top. Seydou Doumbia getting the better of Kurt Zouma, cutting in and coolly slotting away his first goal of the season for the Italian club and putting them 1-0 up in the tie. The new January transfer window signing Doumbia along with Victor Ibarbo, putting them 1-0 up, and it was a great slotted finish into the bottom right-hand corner after 21 minutes. Roma continually looked very, very good on the break. Ibarbo on the right, trying to cross in. Gervinho somehow getting the ball down and letting Nainggolan fire over. Could have really done better there with that effort after 25 minutes. And the game was turning at this stage for the Italian club. They were definitely getting a lot more clear-cut opportunities, but Francesc Fabregas almost fired an equaliser after 30 minutes, just shooting wide. But Chelsea's weakness was the fact that they were allowing too many sort of breakaway attacks, and in the 32nd minute, Doumbia had another chance. Thibaut Courtois having to be forced into a very, very good save. Chelsea then trying to push for an equaliser up the half-time whistle, and Hazard finding a cross in, no one to actually get onto the rebound, and the attack was on for Roma. Unfortunately, Doumbia was left a bit stranded up in midfield, and that allowed Chelsea to break again. Diego Costa trying to find that very intricate ball, and a great save by the Roma keeper there. And then on the break, Doumbia gets away from his man very, very well, but can't quite get the pace to get away from the defenders in the end, but actually find a great ball to the Dutch international Kevin Strootman, who on the stroke of half-time gets a second goal for the away club. And Chelsea's have been inept at defending the pacey attacks from Roma in this first half, and to be fair, that's probably what they deserved, although Chelsea having more of the ball, Roma definitely having the more clear-cut chances, and in the second half the manager would have wanted a reaction from the home team, and they almost did with that deflected effort onto the post there. Costa found some great space here and found a good chip into Nemanja Matic, but he couldn't quite make the most of it. Hazard again finding Matic, who fired into the bottom left-hand corner after 70 minutes and got it back to 2-1 and offered the home side a lifeline with just 20 minutes to go. XRL Bobbitts was pushing for another effort here with Chelsea, and it's been the problem of Riotous Tag that he's conceded too many goals in last season, and he did so once again. Roma looked as if they wouldn't concede a goal during this game, and then he went and conceded 2 straight away inside 7 minutes. As the game was nearing the end and a draw looked to be on the cards, Diego Costa was not having any of that and fired in a fantastic effort. XRL Bobbitts was extremely happy with that strike from the Spanish international and made it 3-2 to the home side, and a great turnaround from the home club. A bit of a disappointment for Roma. They should have got something out of the game, and riotous tag, we very, very disappointed. But 3-2, the final score to the home team, Chelsea. Our next game comes between two sides who had rather difficult starts to their campaigns, and both managers struggled at the end of last season. Man City, managed by XRL Burnley, got to a great start. Aguero finding a little hole in the defence, running through one-on-one with the keeper, has a shot on goal, saved, and again saved by the keeper Sirigu, the Italian international for PSG, making two great stops to deny the home side early on. Just from the following corner though, Silva getting into the box, finding company, and Aguero, great footwork from the Argentinian international, and he actually makes it 1-0 with a great placed effort. Just 10 minutes later, it was their chance to try and go 2-0 up. Aguero again sneaking in and getting through the pocket of the defence between David Luiz and Thiago Silva, and making it 2-0 and doubling the strikers' tally for the game. Sirigu unhappy with his defenders after that goal, but it was a bad goal to concede from their front. As the first half went on, PSG started to get a bit more into the game, and Cavani found himself in good space between the centre-back and right-back and had an effort on goal, but the Uruguayan international couldn't really place it and was more of a snapshot there. As we moved on to the end of the first half, Man City had another attempt on goal. Samir Nasri finding a great ball to Aguero, who was in space, and almost making it 3-0 at the stroke of half-time. With half an hour left to go and the hour being reached in the game though, Ibrahimovic made a great run through on the Man City defence, who had stood pretty strong during the whole game. A great save from Joe Hart, but Matuidi, whose effort was saved by the keeper, got first to the rebound and made it 2-1 and gave them a glimmer of hope, because they hadn't really been into the game until that point, but got themselves into the game. 10 minutes later though, it was game over. Aguero finding some space, getting the ball over to Nasri, who cut inside. He made this goal, and it was a bit fortuitous that it fell to Aguero, but he completed his hat-trick inside the 72nd minute and becomes the league's joint top goal scorer in the league after the first round. It was a cool placed finish, but a very, very fortuitous goal for the home side. PSG wouldn't stop having a go though, and a defensive mix-up there from Mangala meant that Ibrahimovic had a shot on goal. The Swedish international just couldn't curve it back in towards the goal from a very, very tight angle. Our final game comes at the Theatre of Dreams at Old Trafford. Manchester United entertaining Napoli. Both of these managers actually having good records last season, but Senna, who is the Napoli manager this season, found the deadlock after 22 minutes. Not many chances up until this stage, but Gonzalo Higuain timing his run to perfection and making it 1-0, the Argentinian international getting on the score sheet and starting his account for the season. Manchester United, though, had looked not too bad in this game up until that point, and maybe the goal was slightly harsh. Rooney forcing a save from the goalkeeper from a one-on-one situation just outside the penalty spot. From the resultant corner, the save was made from the keeper, and it was a great attack from back to forwards. Maggio finding Insigne, who got the ball into the middle of the park. This has been typical of Napoli's play so far this season, getting the ball from back to forwards as quick as possible. Mertens getting a bit fortuitous there, but nothing fortuitous about Callahan's finish. The Spanish international finding the bottom right-hand corner and opening his account for the season. Napoli looked very, very good getting from midfield to attack, and they could have had a third here getting towards the end of the first half. Some good passing play around the midfield, and again a great save from De Gea. Could have been 3-0, and they definitely had the best of the chances in the game. Man U did have good chances, but not as clear-cut as some of the ones that Napoli had during the game. On the verge of the half-time whistle, some good defending from Napoli here. Actually, again, sprung themselves into an attack in the midfield, moving the ball very, very quickly to Callahan, who passed and made a 1-2 with Higuain. The run was timed to perfection, and it was just a matter of trying to finish this in the goal, but it hit the post, and Ewan, the Manchester United manager, would have breathed a huge sigh of relief on the stroke of half-time. The start of the second half began, and again Manchester United having a great one-on-one opportunity on the penalty spot, and the keeper making a save. Pure Hamilton had criticised the keeper last season for his poor performances, but he definitely hadn't performed badly so far this season, making a couple of really good and important one-on-ones. Higuain weaving his way in and out there to make it 3-0 on the 60th minute and making his second goal of the season for the Argentinian international. Manchester United maybe deserved the goal out of this game. They certainly didn't deserve to lose 3-0. Some of the quality of their chances that they produced was quite good, but they didn't quite have that cutting edge, and they were against a very formidable goalkeeper today. In the 75th minute, though, they tried to get a goal back. Great 1-2, and then Ashley Young giving the pass back again, but Valencia firing over under a bit of pressure, but had an open goal, but he fired over. But the score remained 3-3 to the away side, and just like Senna, having a great start to the season and continuing a run that saw him finish third in the season last season on equal points with Top, he started this season in the perfect manner. Right, so let's have a look at the league table quickly, and XRL Stuart leads the league table with Valencia with a superior goal difference, scoring 5 goals without conceding to lead the table on 3 points, equal with 4 other teams on 3 points, that being Napoli, Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea. The only 2 teams to draw in the league, and the game which we actually didn't have highlights of, was Blackstone and XRL Fearless, both on a point, and then the rest of the teams are yet to pick up a point after their opening fixtures. Roma, followed by Juventus, and then in the relegation zone currently are PSG, Manchester United and Arsenal with that inferior goal difference to Stuart. In the second division we have Lazio, who are top of the league, XRFC for life, leading the league table with a very good goal difference, 4 goals scored in his first game. Shakhtar Donetsk are second in the league with a 4-1 win over their opponents Porto, and Inter Milan, Zenit, Galatasaray and Lyon are the other teams occupying the playoff spots. 2 teams that drew in their opening fixture, Bilbao and Tottenham, occupy 7th and 8th. The 4 teams that lost in their opening fixture, Everton managed by C. Palmer, AC Milan losing in the Inter Milan AC derby with Porto in 11th, and Wolfsburg with a bad opening fixture, Jay Pearce managing them, and they are propping up the table in 12th place. But as usual, it's been great to have you guys on board giving your insights, and we will be back for round 2 with hopefully all of the games from the top division, as well as maybe a short segment from Division 2 as well. But until next time, see you later.